Hey everybody, welcome back to the final money production of 2025. The exam's over, so let's go over the FRQ answers. One last time, smash that like button and enjoy the music. Okay, and promise me that you'll keep in mind that you are more than a test score. Now, College Board only released 2 of the versions of the exam, so some of you had another version. Unfortunately, we can't talk about those. All right, first up, FRQ1. Part A asked about the Senate procedure at the center of the controversy. It's the filibuster. Easy peasy. For real, how excited were you for this? Part B asked how the filibuster makes passing legislation harder in the Senate than the House. The Senate requires 60 votes for cloture to end debate, so bills that have enough votes to pass still might not pass if they don't have 3/5 support to invoke cloture. In the House, bills just need a simple majority. Part C asked how the senators' action shows partisanship. They showed party loyalty by voting along party lines. Democrats supported the bill, Republicans opposed it. Okay, next up, FRQ2. Part A asked for the percentage of Americans in 2010 who thought climate change would pose a serious threat in their lifetime. 32%. No problem there. Part B asked for a trend in the graph. There has been an increase in the percentage of Americans who believe climate change is a serious threat. Part C asked how an interest group could use this trend. They could pressure lawmakers to support climate policy through lobbying, endorsements, mobilizing voters, by pointing to the rising public concern. Part D asked how political socialization could explain the trend. More focus on climate change in media, social media, schools, or families could lead younger Americans to see it as a bigger threat. Next, FRQ3, my favorite. Part A, the Commerce Clause is common to both cases. And if you watch my videos or had the Ultimate Review Packet, you already knew all about Wickard versus Filburn. Part B, the first point is for the Lopez facts. A student brought an unloaded gun to school and was arrested for violating the federal Gun-Free School Zones Act. The court said that gun possession didn't substantially interfect interstate commerce in Lopez, so Congress overreached in their powers. Whereas in Wickard, the court said that even wheat grown for personal use can affect the economies of other states, so Congress could regulate it. Part C asked how Wickard reflects federalism. Even though states usually can regulate things within their own states, the ruling gave Congress more power to regulate commerce that they said affects the economies of other states, shifting more power to the federal government. And finally, FRQ4, the prompt asked whether social media helps or hinders participatory democracy. Here's a basic thesis statement for each one, nice and easy. I think it might have been easier to argue the helps side. Let me know which side you took. For evidence, the First Amendment protects free speech and assembly. People can use social media to share views or organize protests. Federalist 10 warns about factions, and social media could amplify those groups that want to do things negative to others. Letter from Birmingham Jail calls for direct action in social movements, and social media can help rally that kind of support. Alright, that's it for set 1. Next up, set 2. FRQ 1. Part A asked what power the bureaucratic agency used in this scenario. There is both discretionary and rulemaking authority in this one. The agency used its discretion to expand permits and set new safety requirements without Congress. Part B asked how Congress could counteract that power. Congress could pass a new law to override the regulations, use oversight to investigate or pressure the agency, or use the power of the purse to control the agency's budget. Part C asked how the citizens groups in the scenario show pluralist democracy. Pluralist is group-based, and they formed interest groups to oppose pipeline expansion and the groups who support it. Okay, next, everybody's favorite, FRQ2. Part A asked for a percentage. This is one of the most annoying versions I've ever seen of this, but the answer is about 80%, maybe a little less. Part B asked for the overall trend in the data. There's been an increase in Senate elections where the winner is from the same party as the state's most recent presidential choice. Part C told you to draw a conclusion about partisanship in relation to the trend. It shows that partisanship has grown stronger. People are more likely to vote for the same party in both presidential and Senate elections, with less split ticket voting, more straight ticket voting. It could also be about states becoming more solidly, reliably partisan. Part D asked how that trend could reflect changes in how people get their political news. It could be that more people get news from partisan or ideologically driven sources, including social media, which reinforces existing beliefs and increases partisanship. Alright, on to FRQ3. Part A, the Constitutional Clause at the center of both cases, is the Equal Protection Clause. Part B, the first point is for the facts of Shaw. North Carolina drew a racially gerrymandered district to increase black representation. In both cases, race was the main factor in how districts were drawn. The court said that violates the Equal Protection Clause, even if the goal was to help minority representation. Part C asked how the decision in Bush versus Vera relates to republicanism. Now, republicanism is the idea that there is a representative form of government, and the ruling supported republicanism by requiring race-neutral districting. We could also say that hurt republicanism by removing a way to promote minority representation. And last one, FRQ4, the prompt asks whether an elected legislature or an independent judiciary is better at preserving limited government. You can see the thesis examples, but man, this one seems like a very easy one if you argued for an independent judiciary. For evidence, Federalist 51 talks about checks and balances and limiting power, could use it for either one. Federalist 78 emphasizes an independent judiciary and judicial review. And Article 1 outlines the limited powers of Congress, as well as the fact that they are accountable to the people through elections. Let me know what you think in the comments. And thanks again for watching not just this video, but my channel all year long. I really hope that it helped make AP Gov a little easier and maybe even a little interesting. Be sure to tell your underclassmen friends about me, and one last time, say it with me, this has been a La Money production.